Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am here again today with the Startup Hour, which is part of the Startup September organized by Headstart, where every day we are seeing a lot of activity, a lot of startup related events. And I'm here with Prashant Singh, uh, who heads the product of the day, which is JAR app. Prashant, welcome to Startup September. Welcome to the Startup Hour, and thank you so much, for joining us today.
Thanks for
Um,
inviting.
Very quickly, I would, like you to introduce yourself. You've done a lot of different things. You have been part of Spice Labs, and then you've done a AI toy kind of startup which got acquired by Paytm, and then you were working with Paytm for some time, and then you've done a few other things, and then now you are doing fintech. So yeah, tell us a little more about what you do, and then we'll come to more questions about JAR, and then a few more other things.
So at the heart, I'm a mobile app guy. I'm a programmer who kind of stumbled his way into mobile app. I dropped out of college, started my first company straight out of college in uh, so in 3 months I shut it down. Did variety of jobs, uh, from selling hardware to selling enterprise softwares. Built my first app back in pre-iPhone days for the Nokia Series 60 Symbian phone. That was an app called Trill, which was, I believe, the first free standalone Twitter client for Series 60. Earlier, there used to be an app called Gravity, which was €30 back in the day. It was very popular, very nice app, but ours was free, so it kind of had some traction. Build a bunch of so yeah, worked in a company which used to do mobile TV streaming back in the day, and then in Spice Lab we built an app suite of application around gaming, kids games, social media, news, and all together a portfolio of some 20 apps, and collectively we got 50 million plus download when I left. So it really cut my teeth in app business over there. Then out of Spice Lab, I started my own company, which was an AI personal assistant. You can think of it like a Google now, which was around 16 months ahead of Google now. So we had a 16-month lead, but we didn't really made much of it. So we built a kind of client which can predict who you're gonna call next and bring that contact to the surface, an automated ringtone disabler, a task recommendation system, and all. Reasonably successful in the sense like we got 750,000 user without spending a single penny on advertisement, no paid acquisition whatsoever. We were popular in Mexico, Turkey, Germany, Russia, India, Middle East, bunch of countries. Google highlighted us on the App Store, Play Store as a innovative app. Time Magazine covered us.
Wow.
SVP search of Google, Amit Singhal invested in my company. Yeah, long story short, 3 years. We exited by selling it to Paytm. Then I joined Paytm as a vice president. Worked on a bunch of things there, from their flagship recharge product to sellers panel to DIY QR code generation system and all. Pretty much a lot of things, from catalog to search to travel to last assignment was working with my friends in China, building the whole messaging and content pipeline. Good fun, 4 years. Wanted to take a break before deciding what to do next, but then the COVID hit, so I spent a year and a half staying in with my parents in Rajasthan, my native place, and came back. I had no particular idea what to do next. Did a bit of an angel investing, and then I knew Misbah and Nishchay and Jar. I really liked the idea and their approach to building the solution. Team was good, so we said, okay, let's join hand and build this thing. And here I am, 1.5 years into it, having fun. We got little more than 10 million users. Yesterday only we got awarded as the best wealth management app and all. I think it's our second year in the row getting that award. Yes, some of the marquee investors like Tiger Global, Arkham and all are cap tables. So yeah, now we are
Yeah, I was just
building
coming to that.
tools for.
Congratulations on that award. And
Mm,
yeah, tell us a little more about what is the thought behind JAR. I mean, there are so many fintech companies, there are so many lending apps. Why JAR?
mm,
And I'd like you to share some anecdotes from the field. So I've seen you've been very actively observing how people are using the UPI, how people are using how ubiquitous it has become, and how there are different very nuanced behaviors, and you keep talking about those. So
mm.
how it is helping you at JAR.
So I think your question is a bit layered. There are two questions in it. One is essentially what is JAR and how it is like different from other plethora of fintech application. At the core, there is not much difference in the sense like we are also having the main financial instruments are same in the back end. We also have bank account, we also have NBFC integration, we also have insurance. We are not in the business of writing insurance contract for that matter, or writing our own credit rating so far. What we differentiate ourselves from our peers in fintech is that we are not an app of blue and white grid. What does it mean is essentially there seems to be certain convention in the fintech where we believe that when it comes to porting or bringing fintech services to tier 2, tier 3 user, the core challenge is of education, that these people are not savvy, they people are not familiar with the financial know-how. Somehow for us to bring them in the financial fold, we have to educate them. This might be true, but I believe that this is not the optimal thing, because we are not questioning the fundamental premise. It's like saying that if everybody has to be on desktop computer, they will have to learn the DOS. We all know that's not how it pan out. Somebody have to invent Windows so that market can be expanded. I think we are at that juncture in fintech or mobile computing per se, where the requirement of the hour is to basically rethink the interface.
Excellent.
Not to basically educate people, just to simplify it. So what we put a lot of stress on is because simplify it. Your user is smart, but he don't have the time and energy and intent to kind of learn something just so that he can use your app. Make it simple. And once you make it simple, the traction will come. So our moat is basically, our differentiator is basically that nuance understanding what works with NBU, what doesn't work with NBU, and how to hold a conversation with them. And this kind of percolate down and manifest in every facet of company. When we talk to our designer and product manager, we tell them, look, the only thing you can imagine about the user or assume about the user is that he or she knows how to watch YouTube or play PUBG and how to make an online payment using Paytm. Everything else is untested assumption. Build for it.
Awesome.
And don't build with the way that I have to educate. Build with the approach it has to be simple enough. Sometimes we do good job, sometimes we do lousy, but that's the direction we work on.
I think 10 million users is a testament that you are definitely doing a lot of things right.
Hopefully.
Right. So yeah, I think you've covered some of it, but if there is one biggest challenge that you think there is in this area still, right? What would that be, and how are you trying to overcome that?
In most of the time, when you're trying to break new ground, the most challenge are either technological because it's not been done before, or you have to do it on a low bandwidth pipe and or unsecure. Security threat are externalities, So, but in general, trust का भी एक problem होता है कि people might not trust. In general, as a category, finance को नहीं trust करेंगे. There can be excessive spam problem. People, if there are suddenly in a neighborhood there are multiple UPI spam, every UPI app suffer because of that. So these are like externality, but I think one core problem which I wish as a product designer somebody would have solved for me is problem of standardization. In the sense when you try to build a word processor, or when you try to build a like a office productivity suite or a graphic editor, so there are icon and the terminology is quite standard: cut, copy, paste, file, search, crop, or bevel, you name it, right? So people don't have to spend time in teaching those things to the user, right? Right now, that iconography, that terminology is not standard. There is no standard icon which is universally agreed upon for bank.
Correct.
And which is enforced by outdoor media, print, in passbook. If we have just same cut, copy, paste, that the scissor icon is by and large. Paste that icon is standard. Share icon is standardized, but those current account versus saving, lending का कोई icon नहीं है. Yeah, we can, as a ecosystem, we can fight tooth and nail what rate of interest I give to my customer or you, but let's agree on the icon for lending, and वो नहीं है. It's like price है, so you take one step ahead from iconography to like nomenclature, like कीमत, मूल्य, भाव, फीस का जुर्माना या फीस कहाँ इंग्लिश यूज करनी है,
right?
And that require an industry body. Maybe I would, if somebody from like regulator now are listening, maybe they can take an initiative, but that will be a lot helpful in pushing the cause of fintech product manager, because then they might learn KYC from you, but they might complete it with me because of my product is better, or they might learn like GST from me and might fulfill. Everybody will benefit. Standardization should be there. अभी नहीं है, बहुत मुश्किल होता है.
Totally agree, and I think that's also a very hard problem to solve, and one factor I feel that would eventually always be required will be time. That even if somebody starts and agrees on an ethnography or a set of standard terminology, still it would take a lot of time for people to pick it up and implement and understand and be on the same page as what so.
Or there is a clear market leader, I mean, like,
yeah,
वो नहीं है अभी.
Which is good and bad in certain ways, right? So that's definitely there. What do you feel about the overall fintech space right now? So luckily, I mean, I was talking about food on Monday, and then healthcare on Tuesday, and today I'm talking this was not planned for, but luckily, I mean, I'm covering three large domains in 3 days. So very quickly, if you can throw some light on the fintech domain as you see it today.
I mean, it's an interesting space to be in. Like, if you look at food tech, there is very little innovation going on in food, but a lot of the impetus is on tech and logistic and like algorithm and all. But food per se is still butter chicken and like, curry chawal, right? But same can be said about pretty much rest of the sunrise sector. But fintech is a place where you see innovation both in tech part of it, also the fin part of it. So that makes it exciting. We have to pick our battle very carefully. We want to go into like fin before the tech, or if we are going to tech, is it more efficiency play or the UX play or the distribution play or the data play? Like It's a multi-front war. But interesting, very interesting. Means like, given the fact that there are more Dream 11 user than tax filing people or credit card user. Oftentimes we hear this that okay, fintech is a dead end because lost cause because there are only so many mutual fund user, only so many equity trader. Fine, is that the ceiling, or the people who are playing Dream 11 are the ceiling? There are more Bitcoin user, I was told, in India, unique, than some say mutual fund trader. So what is Bitcoin people getting right?
That's very surprising to me. If that
It's
is
like I still don't believe it, but that's we know from the people who are into thick of the things. All I'm saying is there are leading indicator which are not directly one-to-one this thing. So can all the Dream 11 user are potential equity trader? Maybe not, but that's an interesting vector to look at. So देखना पड़ेगा, वो clarity भी नहीं है.
very, very, very interesting. And last question that I have, what one secret tool or ebook or link that you feel you would like to share with the audience today that you feel has helped you a lot in your product management and your startup journey?
I believe in nothing is complicated. So basically, if somebody is trying to portray something that is very complicated, either they are trying to discourage you to get into their field, or they don't understand it themselves. Efficient, scalable things are very simple, and anybody who tells you otherwise is have some learning to do. Anybody who is really, really smart, they will never make you feel stupid. The problem is sometimes we feel ourselves कि यार ये मेरे समझ में नहीं आएगा तो fintech है, ये तो coding है.
Wow.
Oh, this is not my, but like anybody who really know coding will never make you feel stupid about not knowing it, because the information is symmetry most of the time. So I think ज़्यादा impress नहीं होना चाहिए इसी चीज़ से.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Prashant, for talking to us today. This was a very, very insightful, calming sort of session. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us. The format is kind of quick and rushed up, but yeah, that's how we are able to get some of these busy people's time. By keeping a format short and crisp.
Yes,
but thank you so much for spending time with us today, and looking forward to many more talks. And it's always fun listening to you. And thank you so much.